And welcome to the FeedBak podcast, everybody. My name is Back. You got Micco in the house.
Hello, America.
We got Byron in the house.
What up, what up?
And we are live from the Native Hostel. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Antonio. Thank you so much for letting us host this podcast here. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by Austin Night. You want to take your significant other or your client, your family when they're in town. You want to take them out, but you don't want to do any of the planning. With Austin Night, we got you covered. All you got to do, just like you book a flight or book a hotel, you book a night out. And within a few clicks, you got your dinner reservation, you got your tickets to live music, and transportation if you want to. So shout out to our partners, Clean Air Limo, Empire Control Room, Phey, Russian House, Antone's, and Cedar Street, and Wu Chow. So again, austinnight.com, NIGHT. Your night is all planned out to show up and have a good time. Go to austinnight.com and use promo code FDBK for 20% off. All right. Time to start the show officially. By the way, so this show was supposed to be with our friends, Two Guys on Your Head, the psychology podcast. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, so we're going to postpone that to June. So make sure you stay tuned. The event is already out. If you look up on the FeedBak podcast or my personal Facebook page. So look out June 3rd. So in the meantime, we thought it was still time to do another show.
Indeed.
So we back here. So we had to switch our whole agenda.
Last minute,
like as of last night. So we're going to do our best. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, but the main topic is cultural appropriation, correct?
It is.
Why did you pick that topic?
Well, Cinco de Mayo just happened.
Oh, yeah,
and all over
right.
social media, I was seeing posts and memes and people being on different sides of that conversation about it. And there's also been this young woman that was been in the news lately and in social media conversation.
Who?
So I want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But it's just what's been in the news lately. So it's good. It's a good.
No,
hot
it makes
topic
sense. It makes
conversation.
sense. And were you out for Cinco de Mayo?
I wasn't like getting crazy drunk for Cinco de Mayo, but I definitely had my margaritas.
Like at home?
I didn't have it at home. No.
Huh?
No, I was
But
somewhere.
I'm saying you've celebrated Cinco de Mayo before.
Oh, yes.
As a Mexican.
Yes. As a Mexican. Yes.
Look. I'm saying like.
No idea where this is going.
I have no idea either. Look at him. He'll pass for Mexican. You grew up on the border.
Yeah. So, by the way, today's topic of conversation is cultural appropriation.
I said that already. God damn.
Wow.
He's trying to take over the show. See what he does? Fucking Micco, man. Fucking Micco. No, but did you go out for Cinco de Mayo?
No.
Are you a big fan?
Of Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
Not really.
'Cause
I'm a fan of the festivities surrounding it, but I'm not necessarily a fan of the holiday itself.
I mean, who's a fan of a holiday besides Christmas?
You asked if
Well,
I was a fan.
you know,
All right.
like things like Cinco de Mayo. So that, I mean, the thing about Cinco de Mayo, there's a historical aspect to it, but then it's been much like a Valentine's Day or many other holidays. It's been kind of repurposed commercially to be more of just an excuse to go out and party and drink. For there to, it's much like President's Day is an excuse for there to be sales on couches and furniture.
Like St. Patrick's Day is not enough, so we need an excuse to go out and drink. And I mean, this is the thing. When I was out last night, I mean, it's like this every year for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So what'd you do?
I call it amateur night because it's motherfuckers who don't go out on a regular basis, but when they do, it's for big stuff like that, and they get drunk like. By 8 o'clock, they're drunk and they want to keep going all night, and then they get into fights and they go around and doing a grito and shit. I'm like, you can't do that. You're whites. That's not. But it's when it becomes just about that, and quite frankly, when white people take over that kind of holiday, that's when it goes crazy. Because I don't know how, like, what is a traditional Cinco de Mayo celebration in Mexico, Micco?
There's layers to this conversation that are appropriate and inappropriate. I actually don't think they really celebrate it in Mexico. So it's much like us celebrating the Battle of New Orleans or the Battle at the Alamo. We don't have a day to celebrate that. Ultimately, that's what it is for them.
Mm-hmm.
But Cinco de Mayo represents like them winning a big battle for independence.
The Battle of Pueblo,
yeah.
Pueblo, yeah.
There you go. You see, you're trying to Frenchanize
I'm trying to
Spanish word.
Ouais, c'est le battle of
Pueblo.
Tu vois, tu connais Pueblo, c'est mon pote Pueblo.
So they don't really celebrate it like that, like we wouldn't celebrate a battle. But for whatever reason, that day is just significant. I think again, I'm biased. I grew up in Texas. In Texas culture, Mexican. I've always known about Cinco de Mayo. It wasn't been a big celebration until recently, but these days we just use it as an excuse to party. I really think that's what it is. I think it's really much like, again, I was being funny, but it's like the couch sales and furniture sales on Memorial Day and President's Day and Labor Day. And
it's got to be annoying.
It's the bars and clubs version of that.
I mean, when you watch the news and every morning show is it's Cinco de Drinko, and then they put out their drinks and take shots of tequila on TV wearing a sombrero, like.
You think it's too much for them to wear a sombrero? Like, was it when it comes?
I'm
to
not Mexican, so I can't be offended. I'm going to be offended for someone else. That makes no sense, but. I think there is some sensitivity to something like that, especially if, it celebrates something very specific, cultural, specific day, specific event that people rallied, or it's like a big moment for the culture and the country as a whole, and then people just reduce it to let's get fucked up.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
As a human being,
of the human race, there's only one race. Go ahead. It says a human being.
So I think that if someone starts dressing, when you start changing what you wear to an extent on that day, just to celebrate that culture, if you're not, it's hard to explain it when it comes to Cinco de Mayo. I would just say on a baseline, if you're wearing sombreros on that day, you don't normally wear them. Okay. Yeah, that starts to become an issue. Like you don't even know why you're wearing it. Like more than likely.
Well, it can be.
It has nothing to do with the battle itself.
Well, no, if you come out with spears and shit, that'd be one thing.
Maybe that's more appropriate, but that's not going to be happening.
There's got to be.
People try to do a caricature of what they think Mexican culture is, and that's where the
if you talk to someone who just says, "Now playing devil's advocate," hey, you know what? We celebrate this because we want to pay homage. To the Mexican culture or to whatever culture that they dress up as, and in that sense, should it be acceptable?
Yes.
But if they say that and they're drunk and they have tequila breath and they can barely stand it, dude, it's to pay homage to the Battle of Puebla in Mexico, in North America. So if you say shit like that, then that's the line.
The funny thing is that's actually not the area of the line for me. So the line is the character of the idea.
Fix your mic, man. Talk into it, not outside of it.
Well, I'm trying to be gangster with my mic, okay? Talk from the side.
Trying to be gangster with your mic. You hold it like a gun. Go ahead.
He's been my street cred. So I think for me it's a character of it. It's hey, maybe I know it's a Battle of Pueblo, but I try to dress up or do something of more of a character of what I think that culture is.
But you got to know a little bit about it, because a lot of motherfuckers.
Well, again, if I'm dressing up in like a Mexican military army suit at that point to recognize it, then I clearly know about it and I'm dressing appropriate to what that is. But if I'm just wearing sombrero, I just say, oh, all Mexicans wear sombrero. That's appropriate.
You think it's racist?
That may be a step too far, but it is in that direction.
So.
I'm hedging.
I can get into the African
practicing
side.
Being a politician.
No, I'm trying to ride both sides. I'm just trying to see, I'll speak on the African thing, but I wanted to hear like as a Mexican, as a Mexican, Micco, a resident Mexican. Anyway,
you're gonna get so much hate mail.
How's that bad? If they get hate mails for you, because like, no motherfucker don't look Mexican, but you look Mexican. Point is the line can be different for different people. Because if I wear a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo, and someone else calls me out, and I could be like, look, I'm celebrating. I don't wear a sombrero every day, but this is for you guys. This is not me trying to act like I know everything about Mexican culture or anything like that, but I'm doing it because it's a day of, what's the word? Well, celebration, but also recognizing and acknowledging the whole culture, the Mexican culture. But it's just one event, one battle. It doesn't necessarily represent the whole Mexican culture, and people just take it like it's nothing.
Let me inverse the scenario. Let's say there was a day celebrating some African holiday or culture.
Yeah, Black Panther came out.
Okay. actually, no.
That was a holiday.
No, okay, no. Excellent point. I'll draw the example there. So
go ahead.
During the release of Black Panther, a lot of people went dressed up in different African what they felt was African wear. And so they went to the movies dressed up in dashikis or characters like Coming to America, and etc. So that was them dressing up their idea of what they think Africa is.
But it's not there's actually a link there.
Okay.
There's a link because African Americans are all from Africa.
What if it wasn't African American? What if it wasn't African Americans? What if I really love Black Panther and I'm Mexican and I wanna go out there and dress up like the movie?
Dashiki? Would that offend me? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, you hesitated.
Yeah,
so already there's
that's
a
the quality
but you're
of
doing
the
it.
dashiki have anything to do with it. I mean, if it's authentic,
this Walmart version,
like that's,
yeah, I mean,
okay, you're saying so if I get it,
like you had to like go through some trouble to actually acquire
procure
whatever
it.
Outfit that you're.
So what?
using.
If I go to Cancun for a week and can come back with sombrero and that's it, that's enough.
For some people, maybe.
Well, I mean, if
Black Panther did it,
if a movie did it to where people started going, yeah, let's think about. Well, I don't know. Here's the thing about Black Panther. I didn't see. Maybe it was happening, but yeah, you celebrate this black superhero from Africa, part of the Marvel universe, and they have all this entire world and culture inside of Africa. Great. Now, people who came out to see the movie dressed like they're from Zamunda.
Coming to America.
Yeah, coming to America. And then saw the movie and then walked out and there was nothing else. Like they wanted to be part of this world and they celebrated, and then now they've seen the movie, so now I can put that shit back in the closet and not really think, oh yeah, I actually want to know more about my African heritage, or I want to do one of those DNA tests and really learn about Africa. If it stops right after the movie, fuck you.
So you're probably like, fuck most of America then.
I can say that.
Most people probably did it for the gram. I mean, most people did it for the gram, right?
The what? Oh, Instagram. My bad.
Back as a dad now.
My bad.
I need to use dad language.
It's dad vocabulary.
What is this gram you talk about? I don't know about this gram. What is the gram? I have no idea. I know gram. I know kilogram. I never heard of gram. What the hell is gram? Fuck you and your gram.
Thank you, Dad.
No, so there was
so yeah, so the inverse is true. Actually, my ultimate point was, and you basically said yes. Should someone of non-African heritage, go to that movie and it ends their experience of it ends at the movie?
Yes.
Then you have a problem with it.
Yes.
And I would say that your sombrero wearing, you almost specifically said it ends on that day, like you did it for that day and that's it.
Yeah, but I think it's a different setting because. What do you want? Hold on, let me explain.
How's it different? Yes.
No, because
tell me more.
What the main purpose of maybe not the purpose, but the main theme of Cinco de Mayo is the drinking part. Or was that ever? Hold on. The way it's been celebrated. I'm not thinking the whole. Fuck you. I'm trying to understand. I really am. Shit, I lost my thought.
It's okay. So Cinco de Mayo, like the purpose of it, or what people do around it.
The way Cinco de Mayo is celebrated is drinking. Is it or is it not? I'm asking the question.
It is now.
No, but was that like when they celebrated that victory? Is that what they did, or is that something like how did the drinking part come about?
Well, if I recall, when I was there
into the mic, man. Why are you talking outside of the mic?
Well, if I recall,
I mean, we've been doing this for what? 3 years.
I wasn't here for the last episode. Okay, it's been a while. It's been a South by while.
Okay, go ahead.
So I
wasn't doesn't say much, but when he does, it comes out right because he holds the mic right.
Is this how you're trying to get? Are you trying to win an argument now with my mic talking?
You haven't made a point yet, so go for it.
So, I think that when it comes to what they were drinking at the time, I mean, nobody truly knows what that was. I don't think the initial celebrations were about that. It was more of a historical thing, right? So, when I think in the past, when I was in school and you celebrated Cinco de Mayo, I didn't grow up in Mexico, but that was in San Antonio, which used to be part of Mexico, and it was more of a learning experience on that day, right? You learned about the battle, much like not quite a July 4th, but much like you learned about some other like famous battle. But other than that, there was no celebration truly around it. You learned about the culture. Maybe that was because I was a kid. Maybe my parents were drinking and I didn't know it. But that drinking part of the holiday really, I feel, didn't come about to the last 10 years. I've seen more of that.
Yeah, but
they're trying to turn it into a St. Patty's Day.
White people always try to turn anything into. I mean, you don't an excuse to drink. It's not that far fetched of a notion. It's like, yeah, my team lost. I'm gonna go drink. My team won. I'm gonna go drink. It doesn't fucking matter.
My team is still playing. I'm gonna go drink.
I'm happy with my job. I'm gonna go drink. I hate my job. I'm gonna go drink.
I got a new job.
Hey, I'm gonna go drink. I got fired. Fuck you. I'm going to drink. So it doesn't. You don't. The excuse is not that big. I mean,
that's fair. So I gonna twist the idea a little bit here and throw it. Do a little thought experiment. What about Juneteenth? Mm-hmm. So Juneteenth right now, for those who don't know,
I don't know.
You don't, because
I'm African
and European.
I can get away with it. European. I'm French, ladies and gentlemen.
So Juneteenth, black holiday, particularly in the South, when the slaves got emancipated, when they heard about it in the South, and so that's a holiday celebrated here in Texas and some other surrounding southern states. But it's more of like a family reunion get together type of thing. So there might be a parade or a march around it, and like some sort of like miniature festival barbecue, like food hangout picnic thing. Mm-hmm. But it's not commercialized. You don't get like Juneteenth furniture sales and fireworks.
It's the black holiday.
You don't get
you motherfuckers.
You don't get the drinking side of it. Like go have a bunch of, and I'm not gonna name a random liquor, tie it to a culture, but you don't have that aspect of it for that particular holiday. But could you? Would that? I even thought there would that help push awareness? Because
if it's commercialized like Cinco de Mayo did,
in a way, I have my day job.
Patrick's Day, no fucking way.
I won't be specific what my day job is, but I was talking to a client I have in Oregon, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo." And I'm like, "Oregon? What the hell do you know about Cinco de Mayo?"
Oh yes, the Mexicans is a problem up here. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
And so but they have the awareness of it because of the party aspect. So, I mean, there's something to be said about that they even know what it is, and it might prompt them to do more research and understand more of it. Rather, if it wasn't a party and drinks weren't associated, they may never even know about it.
But you see the difference between that and a movie that there's no. I guess if because there's nothing really bad about it. Like it's not there's no drug that surrounds the concept. There's nothing bad. It's just a freaking movie of a totally fictional world. And here it is. You have Cinco de Mayo. That's more okay. This shit happened. There were people that died, and Mexico won. And now this is how we celebrate it. And we celebrate it by being together and getting drunk. Versus somebody wrote a great script, and then we go to the movies and we sit there, we watch the movie, and then go home.
Sure. So your line drawn is fictional versus non-fictional.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. That's all I have
but
to say.
You know what? But
I've never heard that. But I could see that as an argument.
Well,
I think people could still get crazy with the fictional stuff, but
so how you? I mean, I don't know much about Juneteenth, honestly. And
do we need to do a Juneteenth episode?
No. I nobody got time for that. Do your Googles, folks. I ain't got time to teach you about June. I can't. Micco just gave you a quick,
snippet
teaser of what it's about, and apparently it was a huge thing in the South. Shout out to Bobby Prince. And so, would you want Cinco de Juneteenth to become like a Cinco de Mayo?
So that was kind of the question I was kind of posing is, there's by making it like a Cinco de Mayo to some extent, you do build awareness. That's what's the point I was making with that person from Oregon that knew about it. Sure, they're celebrating. I thought that was weird, but she knew about it. I was impressed. Again, Juneteenth being a Southern holiday, had she said the same thing about Juneteenth, like, oh, I'm going out to go, I don't know, parade or eat barbecue or something like that for Juneteenth. Mm-hmm. I'd have been impressed. Like, oh, wow, that made it that far. I mean, you don't know the full background of it, but it's kind of cool that you know about it. I don't know. There's a line to be drawn there, but
the thing is, anytime
any publicity is good publicity. It's
yeah, but anytime a corporation tries to kind of take over a holiday,
right? Commercialize
it and say, look, whatever you guys think about this holiday, whether it's Valentine's Day, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, whatever. Here's how we celebrate: buy more cars,
buy more things, and again, like I was saying earlier, when you see people on the news, like they make a whole segment out of it, and then they dress up. I mean, I'm sure when Black Panther came out, there's some people was going around doing the Wakanda Forever sign. I mean, still doing it.
Still doing it all the time. Huh? I did it in my office all the time.
Really? Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, it's randomly.
You just did it now, so
yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
When you
why are you only Wakanda then and not Wakanda Forever?
Yeah.
I'm trying to carry it on even after the movie's over.
I'm surprised it's still going on. Seriously. I mean, when athletes started doing it, do you see that shit?
What do you mean? What?
Athletes were doing the Wakanda Forever.
It's a connection.
Score a point.
There's a whole other cultural connection you can tie within it.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation.
It is, but if they do that, then they have to commit to celebrating the movie and Black Panther. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do Wakanda Forever for the next 2 games, and after that, nah, I don't really care anymore.
You've got to do it for the rest of your life.
No, the rest of your life.
It is forever.
There you go. Yeah, you got
it's a binding contract.
You got to.
You can't get out.
Once you do it once,
you do it. Did you see white people do it?
I have.
What do you think?
That's white people doing the Wakanda stuff.
That's what I'd expect.
What, Byron? Have you seen that shit?
I have seen it. Yeah.
What do you think? How do you feel?
Ultimately, it's fictional.
I didn't have any type of feeling about it. It's like, okay, they dug the movie.
Well, I mean, if they're 12 years old, I get it, but adults walking up and going, "Hey, man." Hey,
now if they specifically picked me out of a crowd,
that'd be the problem.
Hey, man,
if they greeted everybody else one way, they did that to me specifically, then that
would be a problem.
That would be a problem. But other than that,
I mean,
what if they would kind of salute everybody but you? I'm gonna shake your hand.
I want that to be my friend Byron. Byron and I will Wakanda forever.
That's hilarious.
I mean, for real, you gotta commit. You can't, and it's okay. I think for no, actually, it's not okay. Never mind. I was thinking that for the movie, keep doing it, but it's fictional.
What do you mean about commit?
Alex, you can't be in the audience when you don't and talk when you don't have a microphone in front of you.
Huh? Movie forever? Does that have to be their favorite movie forever?
No, but I mean, there's a degree of like knowing more about the culture, or reading the comic books and know more about Black Panther, and like start reading it and talking to people about it. Hey, check out Black Panther.
Don't be a poser.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't be in it just because it's cool. Just like don't wear a sombrero
like,
just because.
People who like didn't read comic books, like all of a sudden being so into Marvel.
I want to turn up her mic. Sorry, go ahead.
I said like from that argument, what do you think about people who weren't traditionally comic book fans, don't like that fiction, weren't like into that as kids, all of a sudden being huge Marvel fans, they know everything about Marvel.
Then
or like Lord of the Rings, I like Lord of the Rings fans who all, they watch the movies and all of a sudden they know that. Like that's, I don't know, I feel like what the argument you were saying before about Black Panther itself, you can kind of make, because it is a Marvel movie, it is as much American as any part of the Marvel universe, because that's what the African American culture is. It's American, a part of it is. And so so bringing a voice of that into like, something as American as comic books is I don't think, it doesn't feel like appropriation. It just feels like what should have been done all along, right?
You said what should have been done all along?
Yeah, because like Black Panther particularly is American, right? It comes from comic book tradition.
Have you read the book?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, I haven't. So
I was a comic book kid.
Well, it's Marvel's American, and I think that's the point.
Yeah,
It's
I think
it's
that was
an
the point.
American comic.
I see a difference between that and say Cinco de Mayo that you were talking about earlier, when you're talking about appropriation of another cult, like full on like country.
an existing.
Yeah.
But do you agree with there's a difference between the fictional concept and the non-fictional?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, I don't think that there's so much of a difference between them, because fiction is nothing but like the sort of like consciousness of the people. A lot of times like distilled. Like you learn people through the
sit over
fiction.
here so people can see you.
You learn about a lot of people through the fiction. So yeah, I think it's equally as prone to or susceptible to appropriation as nonfiction would be. Sorry, was that your point? Or was that your question?
Sorry, I was watching Micco move the mic and
I wasn't quite here for that conversation, so I'm not exactly sure what y'all talked about.
It's all right. It's all right. And it's all good. No, but I think that definitely a difference between a fictional and non-fictional.
I don't think there's that much difference. When you talk about something like a cultural appropriation of it. Sorry,
into the mic.
I just ate duck
What's
confit.
Up with y'all? Y'all can't hold
so
the mic
I might
right.
have duck confit on my food.
Duck what? Oh,
duck confit. Yeah, they had that at the brunch menu. It's duck and watermelon and mint salad. It was quite good.
Okay, so here's a question. I'm taking a step
Shout out to
further.
Native Hostel Restaurant.
Is white rappers cultural appropriation?
I don't
got
think
Eminem?
so. I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
But I think there's layers, and I think different people have different opinions on this, and there's layers within it. I don't think.
But when I
don't think a style of music can
belong to one.
Yeah, I don't think you can ultimately do that.
And there's a lot of dope white rappers. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Yeah. Eminem, Apathy.
There's a lot of different, John, just white across the board, right? So it's.
Why am I making this about race today? I don't know.
Well, that's what that's who you are, man.
I'm race.
That's who you are.
I'm race. Whoa. So what?
Let me flip it. Let me. You mind if I flip it a little bit?
Go ahead.
And just say, let's look at other holidays. So we talked about St. Patrick's Day. Before we move on to the next topic here in a second, but like St. Patrick's Day, there's a lot more accepted of people appropriating that culture, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like people wear green, people go out and drink green beer, and that's what's celebrated about St. Patty's Day. And you don't hear like a big Irish pushback.
No, because they're drunk. What would they?
That was a little rude.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Holy shit, folks.
Like a European.
Yeah, my European is coming out.
Your French is coming out.
No. No, but even St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, that's how they celebrate it. So it's not like Cinco de Mayo.
You've been to Ireland during St. Patty's Day?
I haven't. I've seen videos. Isn't that? Well, you tell me.
Wait a second.
I'm Mexican, remember?
Hey, back.
I've never been there.
I don't think we've actually established how they celebrate Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, because none of us here really can speak to that. I really feel like that's a question for other people.
That's something that.
Honestly, like maybe at the down in San Antonio.
Well, again, that's why
we can ask some of them.
I spoke to that a little bit, being from San Antonio. That there was no big celebration when I was growing up. I don't know if that's because I wasn't of age or not, but it was more of just a historical.
Yeah, but is there like a family gathering?
No,
and
no. There's nothing outside of school that I.
Outside of school?
Yeah, school would do something.
Nothing at home?
No.
Yeah,
But you're not Mexican.
but not my home.
I am today.
He is Mexican just today. Get with the program.
I think there's like a bunch of other things going on during Cinco de Mayo that's non-alcohol related. There's like plenty of plays, films, cultural
nobody
stuff
cares.
that's actually being done.
That's true, but nobody cares. I mean, nobody. I don't want to say nobody.
Byron cares, obviously.
I gotta give
But
this.
Byron cares, even if
But I
nobody
care.
else care.
So I think that
Keep your head up.
it's not all just watered down to just drinking, but in terms of, I don't know, alcohol sales and things like that, that's what's pushed. But I do believe that there's still more out there than just the drinking and celebrating part.
Agreed.
Including tacos. I mean, it's free tacos everywhere. That's always
Free
good.
tacos everywhere. It's amazing.
Can't really
Is
hit on
that
that.
why you
Yeah.
how you celebrate it? No
if
tequila.
it's
Fuck
free.
the tequila. I'm going for the tacos.
If it's free.
They're not
least
mutually
tacos first.
exclusive, Pat.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the deal with this the dress, the girl who wore like a Chinese dress for prom.
Yeah. So
like
speaking
that?
of like the latest appropriation versus appropriation news. So probably a week or two ago, the girl posted on Twitter her prom dress, and it was like a Chinese, like a Chinese style, probably within a certain Chinese area, but I'm not sure the specifics. But it was nice. It was clearly of an Asian culture, Chinese culture dress.
She's not Chinese. She's just
she's Utah.
Oh, Utah.
Typical Utah white girl. Right?
All right.
And
does she look good? Because otherwise people wouldn't care.
She was in high school. Okay. I'm gonna say she wore the dress well.
Did she love Chinese culture? Is there a reason
So her response to it, I read a response on it. So before we'll get there.
Go ahead.
She got a lot of backlash on it on social media, right? Somebody pushed it. Can you believe this girl's wearing this dress? Oh my God, cultural appropriation.
Said it. Man, okay.
And so she like got it viral from America, from just Twitter and social media, that you shouldn't be wearing this dress. You're appropriating their culture. You don't appreciate it. Oh my God, it's terrible. And she basically responded back and said, I love the culture. I really wanted to emulate it, and it's just a fucking dress, and it looks beautiful. Leave me alone. And then she got a bunch of support from China as well. Like there's a social media movement in China supporting her for it. And so like that's the one side of her side, and the other side is it appropriation because she's not Chinese and she wore this dress, and that's what she thinks the culture is. Is it?
You know what? Now that I think of it, it's not. I can't say that I'm that offended, but I think that I don't know the fact that she said, it's just a fucking dress and I look good in it, and she loves the Chinese culture. I'm kind of leaning on her side. I know that doesn't sound consistent now that I've said this, but yeah, it's just a fucking dress. I mean, if it's like, okay, how about this? If the dress actually represents something specific,
which it didn't.
It's just a dress. Like she could have, bought it at like an American store. It's not like she went to Chinatown. And
I've seen that dress worn like it's an alternate costume for Chun-Li on Street Fighter, like esque, like it's like common esque.
It's just a fucking dress. I think.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think there's a line somewhere, and I think occasionally gets crossed with people being over aggressive with this.
Here, does cosplay?
That's a good question.
Is cultural appropriation?
But that's the fictional versus non-fictional too.
I know, but it is still.
Well, okay, I think the larger kind of issue is, and it really ties into the main theme of this, is the like Asian Americans and Asian culture has been underrepresented.
Take this other mic and turn the wireless off.
Asian culture in America and Asian Americans have been underrepresented in like social narrative like so much, and I think like some of it is specific backlash against that, which is kind of a whole thing in and of itself. And I don't really think it's about the dress per se. I think it really is a lot of anxiety and frustration under representation of like Americans here that don't have their voices, often seen, that don't get cast in movies, that don't get, that are always just seeing one side. And I think that that's kind of like in a whole kind of what like this whole debate about appropriation, kind of stems from, is like America is so one-sided in its narrative voice, right?
Well,
it's problematic.
But I think that it's the discussion should be more around what is the intention.
I think individually,
why do you choose to wear that Chun-Li looking dress?
I think on an individual level, it is about the individual's attention. I think on a cultural level, the issue really is about like underrepresentation in general, because there's a lot of frustration, individual frustration that gets built up about that. Like I talk to my Asian American friends, and they talk about this.
But how do they feel?
They feel like they're completely underrepresented. Which they are. Like, it's 100% true. Like, how many Asians are in movies,
But
right?
they say that...
Let's tie you back into the root of the conversation.
They see that as...
About the dress, yeah. They see her as, like, doing something...
Like, bringing awareness to the...
Nah, they see her as she doesn't know us. And it kind of... I don't know.
So does that mean you're limited in what you can wear based on your race?
No. Yes and no. I feel like if we are more fair about like knowing other cultures and like really appreciating them and knowing the history, it would be a gravy, right? Like we'd be okay because like we show the appreciation. It's when you're like, it's like a cat from on St. Patty's Day, donning Irish or Cinco de Mayo sombrero. You're like, you don't know us. Like, why are you doing this shit? And I think that's
but
a
are
problem.
you gonna hold on? So when you see that kind of shit happen, are you gonna go and like stop somebody and call somebody out and say "fuck you" while you're wearing this dress,
there's no
while you're
right
wearing the
answer
sombrero?
to this back. There's not 100% a right answer to this. It's like really
I'm not
so
looking
much
for the
depends
right
on the
answer.
person.
I'm just trying to like
you can't
unpack this thing.
you have to, it really does it, like you said, it's an individual thing. You have to take it on an individual level.
A good point on Facebook.
You have to look for
Wu-Tang took over like the
yeah.
Is that cultural
That's a good
appropriation?
one. Yeah, that is definitely cultural appropriation. I mean, they love the movies growing up, and they have a reason they chose it and all. But
but they can speak to, hey, we love watching, kung fu movies, and we know everything about it, and we know all the different heroes and actors and all that. So that's why we added that element to our group.
But ultimately, that's not a true representation of that culture,
our
right?
Spaghetti
it is, but they don't have to take
that.
But they don't have to take it as a whole. That's the thing. If you pick and choose, okay, this is the aspect of the culture that we want to celebrate or we want to pay homage to.
Okay.
Just because we choose to focus on that element doesn't mean that we don't give a shit about the rest. So just because you celebrate Cinco de Mayo or Juneteenth and shit, now it's kind of.
I mean, you don't celebrate.
No. What I'm saying is, just because I don't celebrate Juneteenth, I don't. I just said I don't.
Do you even know when Juneteenth is?
Honestly, yeah, I probably did, but I forgot.
It's okay.
Sorry,
it's all right. You're not
I'm
us.
French today. I can't get away with it. I can get away with it. Just because you choose to focus on one element of the culture doesn't mean that you necessarily disrespecting the rest.
Right.
So she chose to wear that dress because it looked good. Doesn't mean that, basically fuck the rest of the Chinese or Japanese culture.
She wasn't wearing it and then going out and doing something disrespectful as if I'm in this dress.
Then
I think that becomes bad. Like,
okay, so it is the intention.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's about the attention. So everybody should.
But it's hard to judge intention a lot of times, but we do.
So what?
It's hard to judge intention from a picture and things, but we do.
You can't. It's not fair.
Well, I think some of the issue with the appropriation is like the monetary aspect of it, in terms of making money off of whatever culture you're appropriating, I guess. So you can see, random company A that uses hip hop music in their advertising or whatever.
That's targeting. That's different.
They're using.
It happens, yeah.
They're using that culture as a way to make money for themselves, and so there's people out there, and I'm kind of leaning on that side of, you appreciate what we provide in terms of the culture that we give, but you don't appreciate us as a race of people. And so there's a disconnect between the level of love that you have for, say, hip-hop music and the level of love that you have for the African-American race as a country. And so when there's that disconnect, I think that that's where people get upset when they see that disconnect.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I have several non-black friends that love hip-hop, but then are like, oh, black people are overreacting about the police. And it's like a lot of hip-hop is talking about that. I find it so ironic. I think that speaks specifically to that point that you're talking about.
Well, say a restaurant. If I'm a chef and like right now everybody's doing fusion this and fusion that, and I'm taking two cultures and I'm putting them together, but I have nothing to do with those cultures at all, and I open a restaurant and I make a chain out of it.
Like the food truck White Girl Asian Food here in Austin?
Yeah. So is that no? I'm asking because here's the thing.
A real thing.
You got to be consistency in an idea like that. It's hard to maintain. I think you can't be all in. Oh yeah, well, fuck you if you're taking someone else's culture and you're taking it for your own and you're basically disrespecting us, blah blah blah. But on the other side, well, yeah, you're celebrating and good for you. This is an homage to the culture. So depending on the situation, it's kind of you're either on one side or the other. It's hard to be just hardline.
Does this apply to Taco Bell?
Huh?
Like, does this apply to Taco Bell? Like, out
It
of
would.
curiosity, yeah.
It would.
Because,
Like
we all grew
Madeline, I
up
mean,
eating
they're
Taco Bell.
making like French bakery stuff, and
Yeah, but
I
Taco
think
Bell
it's just-
was
it's
around
just
for
nasty.
forever.
I think it's just nasty. But is that cultural appropriation? Unless like the chef went to France and studied and learned how to do a good croissant and a pain au chocolat.
I think French
and,
food is overrated.
Yeah, and all that.
actually.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean. But is that cultural appropriation?
Okay.
I'm opening a restaurant, Mexican theme. Oh no,
Different-
never mind. A Chinese theme restaurant. I put Mexicans in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
do you have to be of that
Burrito
culture to
is
open that
different
cuisine?
than Taco
Yeah.
Bell in
You
our
do.
culture.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I
Is
agree.
bagels in
Does
the
it matter
South
where you open that
appropriation?
location or the location you open up
I'm
this
curious,
restaurant?
actually.
Does it matter
Location
where?
matter?
Yeah, in terms of
Yeah,
like your
I mean,
target.
the South cuisine is different from the East Coast.
clientele, I
Bagel
guess.
places, no good.
Well, there's cultural appropriation, and then there's marketing.
I feel like,
Like
food's
if you want to
more
make money,
regional.
you got to target certain people. Then yeah, you're gonna take on their culture in your message or in your visuals just so you can sell to them. Now, if you do it in a stupid way, in a disrespectful way, like Scott Elder,
Or like a Pepsi
you know that
commercial?
dude who sells car?
Yep.
Yeah. He dresses
I mean,
whatever holiday it is. I'm a
that's exactly
leprechaun.
it.
I'm Scott
I mean,
Elder for the
hip-hop really
people.
is a thing that
He's never
just
going to sponsor
happens.
us, so
Yeah.
fuck him. It is. So is that cultural appropriation? The dude's just trying to sell cars,
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
but it's marketing,
I mean, it's market.
but it's cultural appropriation as well because he's doing it in a fucked up way.
You're trying to exploit that area for money. You're
Yeah,
not trying to
but-
advance the culture in any way. You're trying to use your knowledge of
But
it
that's
to sell shit.
but that's the definition of marketing.
But that's partially our fault too, right?
Huh?
We're the ones buying it. I mean, not us.
Well, they wouldn't do it
it's
if it didn't work,
20-year-olds.
first of all.
It's the 20-year-olds buying it, you
Yeah.
know. But we need to teach them different. Like,
so if
you
I'm
know,
doing a car commercial,
we do have the
and-
choice to not buy things.
and I play like Chinese music on it, and I have an Asian girl driving the Lincoln, and forget Matthew McConaughey for a whole campaign, and is that cultural appropriation? You take a Chinese girl, she got to be hot. You put it in the car in the Lincoln, because I mean it's marketing. Again, it
Yeah,
is.
they're
That's
all
what
gonna be hot,
marketing
that's-
is.
yeah.
You got to be. If you're in a commercial like that, and it's all like about luxury and all that, you're not gonna put a fat ass in there.
Well, it's more. It's a hot girl that happens to be Chinese. and
Yes.
a Chinese girl, and then okay, she has to be hot then.
Oh, my bad. The order didn't sound. Didn't come off.
Order of operation.
Yeah. It's my word sequence.
my
was
dear
off.
Aunt Sally.
My word sequence.
Please
was
excuse
not
my
like
dear
dear
Aunt
Aunt
Sally.
I don't know that, but whatever.
The planets.
I'm not.
Mnemonics and math, buddy.
Who?
No,
Huh?
it's just the planets.
Sorry, that was a Mexican word.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Well, I think ready to move on to a different topic. I think we've circled around appropriation.
Yes.
Kanye.
So, just to wrap it up, it's hard to be consistent on one side and not the other. So, if it's not your culture, you shouldn't be offended. I think in the first place. I just want to put it out there.
Don't be offended on behalf of
On
somebody
behalf
else.
of somebody else, like fuck you. If they like it, they like it. Shut up. And it's always white people too. So, however you feel about this issue. I mean, feel free to comment and email us about this. But I say if you're gonna celebrate a culture, just don't do it in a stupid way. That's about as good of an advice I can give.
Like, don't be
really.
a frat boy.
Yeah, don't be a douche
frat
about
boy,
it.
because it's really like.
Don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
We're not asking
Let's
you to know the
parse
entire
like this.
history.
Like, it's mostly just don't act
and
like a
and
frat
no
guy.
generals.
No, don't do that. Don't buy your entire outfit at Urban Outfitters. Just don't. Like,
All right.
no.
Moving on. We got to talk
Run it
about
by your token friend before you do it.
quickly. I want to talk about Kanye West because brother Kanye has gone off the deep end, and I don't know if it's on his meds or off his meds. But did you guys watch the 1 hour interview with Charlamagne the God?
No,
I did not.
I did not.
Man.
I watched clips and I've read highlights.
Clips.
I don't want to give him more publicity. I don't want to give him what he wants. I'm not going to play his game.
Oh, really? You're like,
no,
wait, hold on. Did you, at this point, are you like, fuck Kanye, I'm done with it?
Well, I've been that way for a little. I mean, I separate the man from his music, I feel, so.
You can do that.
I mean,
a lot of people can't. A lot of people saying fuck Kanye.
Well, to some extent, I mean, what he said lately makes me want him to
put out a fire album.
I hope.
Well,
no, I'm not a Kanye fan.
It's gonna be tough if he puts out a fire album. I'll admit it'll be tough. But
I mean, hey,
I don't want him to go. I don't want him to feel that he can say what he wants to say and not have any repercussion. It's like I think we just did that with R. Kelly.
No, but I think
beat on a girl and then still is making music today.
Can you separate the man from the art? In R. Kelly's case,
I mean, I
believe I Can Fly. He did that.
You can to an extent, but you still have to give the man their own punishment. So he should go to jail, but it doesn't mean I can't listen to their music.
But he won't be able to make any music. Let's say he can't
fine.
make any
Then you're done at that point. I mean, I don't want the price of you making more music to pee on more children. That's a bridge too far.
So
for me.
But do you think that because you buy his album and you go to his show that you actually condoning what he did?
Yes, I do think that.
You think that?
Yeah, you do.
Then you don't really separate the art from the artist.
I
mean,
his money.
yeah. So sorry,
His
the
money from the
life,
artist.
the personal, the artist from the art. I think that's what I said.
So you're right. This is a hard area to maneuver. So I may still like the music. I don't want to as much as I can. I want to keep my dollars away from them. So I may not go to a live show. I love live music, but I may hear his music and be like, I can say, yeah, that's a pretty good song. I'd love to see it live. But
would you have gone and see Cosby perform?
Not after I heard of the allegations. Not after I believed the allegations.
There was still a crowd that was going to see him.
Well, that's
so. But
you know who was not in that crowd?
Micco, the Mexican.
That guy. Nope.
No,
Mexicans didn't support Cosby.
Honestly, I think that I can separate the art from the artist. I think Kanye is a douchebag. I can't say that I'm a big fan of his music. Maybe early Kanye I like.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most popular songs that he did and the songs that he produced, I think he is a genius when it comes to music. I don't think he's a genius when it comes to being a human being. Yeah, that's
when the beat ends, so does the genius.
Well, if it was using his platform and his voice to actually say things that are positive, that it's trying to bring awareness to, then
you're okay with that?
Yeah,
or that's your question.
Yes, I'm asking you.
Okay,
I'm asking everybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, are you only gonna not? Do you draw these lines on celebrities and what they believe only when you disagree with them?
Right.
Do you think he's given in to the Kardashians?
I think he's Thanos.
What? Whoa. See, you know what I like about Byron? He doesn't say shit, but when he does, he just drops bombs on the show. Yeah, I just said that. And then we're all like, huh? What? Whoa.
What just happened?
No, what do you mean it's Thanos?
That's it. That's all I had.
He snapped his finger and then he fucked up. If you haven't seen Marvel Avengers,
Don't
by the
spoil
way,
it.
I just saw it 2 nights ago.
Which is why I just made the statement I made.
I haven't seen it.
Don't.
So in the movie,
I just snapped my fingers.
yeah, he's like one of those D12 boys. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just talking right now.
D12.
Just to
Wait,
sidetrack you
Thanos
from
is? Thanos is one of the B12
spoiling the
boys?
movie.
Is this Thanos?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I thought you were
But can
saying
you separate
Thanos
the
was
art
like
from
that.
the artist?
Um,
Like in a sense, I mean, every big artist had major issues. Michael Jackson, James Brown,
Yes.
Freddie Mercury, Jimi Hendrix, you name them, right? The list goes on and on. But yeah, they really contributed to the culture, and I mean to pop culture, to music, or whatever else they did. How this, no matter how despicable whatever they did in their private life, actually was. So, do you punish the art because of the artist?
I think at some point, a monetary contribution to their performances or what have you enables whatever their vice is. So by supporting them monetarily in some way, you're enabling it. But that's my perspective of
it. But enough people choose to do that and say, you know what, we're going to boycott, we're not going to go, which is their right, but people still show up, then it's not really necessarily condoning what the artist does.
Not necessarily,
but if you let the market dictate whether or not that artist should be regarded as a great artist or as someone respected in the culture, damn it, I lost the beginning of my sentence. One more time.
So you're not giving money financially to
let the market decide. Like if people go, you know what, fuck him, now he's losing money and he stops touring because of it.
I'm saying you're still adding to that person's legacy by like listening to their music or whatever.
I'd agree.
But you're not celebrating
listening
them financially.
Even listening is too much.
I mean, if you
actively like play his music around other people, I guess.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made. I can't argue that.
I don't know.
But there's got to be
you're adding to the awareness, which can ultimately indirectly add to sales and
yeah.
But what if you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty? People still listen to Thriller. People still did to Michael Jackson. He was never convicted of what he did.
People still watch Roman Polanski movies.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not consistent. I think it depends on.
Well, I think right now, if I go buy the Thriller album, it's not going to mean more little boys get molested.
Well, he's dead. He can't do anything.
Exactly.
But, even when he was alive.
So that was the thing. Like I would try to do my best not to do anything that enabled that to happen more.
But just if you already have it, then you listen to it. If you listen to Invincible,
I mean,
so if you had like that last concert, you wouldn't try to go to it.
I would go see Michael.
I would try to go see Michael before it's too late.
You know what? I'm human. I'd go. I'm not gonna lie. I would go. But I wouldn't go twice.
Really? Really?
I'd probably go twice.
So you would go see but does it depend on the crime?
To an extent, yes. I mean, if he had fucking murdered 5 million people,
but it was never proven guilty.
Actually, it had to be 6 million or more, and then I wouldn't go.
But there's a limit on the number of deaths. Holy shit, Nico! All right, this many people gotta die before I start supporting this motherfucker. All right,
he has a lot of hits.
Now get to work, people. Get to fucking
Dirty
work.
Diana alone's worth a couple hundred.
Wow. Everybody has a number. Everybody has 5 million. Yeah, I mean,
at least I know my limit.
I really hate the guy, but you gotta hit that number.
Really love his music, man.
I'm sorry.
Thriller beat.
I'm sorry. Or pay me, and I'll stop going. Even better. I mean, come on, Michael, you would miss a show because there was a trial going on.
I mean, again, I just told you my number. I mean, so clearly, I'll admit there's some holes in my morality, but for the most part, R. Kelly, I wouldn't know. R. Kelly came here, and I would really.
The Me Too movement is a good thing.
I've never seen him, and I'm a live music fiend. We all are, right? Everyone in this room, and I really want to go see him because he has a lot of hits I have, but I didn't for that reason.
You didn't go.
I didn't go
as much as you really, really, really wanted to. There was Lil Micco.
He was playing it. He was playing at Bass Concert Hall. That's a good venue for a show.
Yeah.
So you have Lil Micco on the right shoulder.
Every now and again they win.
Come on, man. It's R. Kelly.
I remember seeing.
You lost your virginity to R. Kelly.
I saw the fucking video, man.
Like,
with my own eyes.
With my own eyes.
That was that motherfucker peeing on that girl.
Micco,
have no
had you
doubt.
seen R. Kelly? Have you ever seen him before?
Have I seen him?
I've seen him perform.
Yeah.
Like before
have you ever seen him live?
Allegations came up.
I don't think I have. I think that's
so he's never gonna be in your passport. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, and this leads to a topic I don't want to get in too deep today, but had he gone to jail and served his time and redeemed, then yeah, I think once you pay your debt to society, I don't burden you with it anymore.
So he can do community service for a month and come back out.
I didn't say it took a month, but whatever society decides is your debt, once you pay it, I absolve you and I can start over.
My other
but he hasn't paid it.
My other beef with that is that all the people who profited from someone who was either charged or convicted of a crime, even though they're great artists or they be considered great artists. Other people who profited from that don't hear from them. They don't give back the all the money. They don't. In a way, they supported this. Maybe they knew about it even. And yet, this guy goes down. His career's over, but I get to keep everything.
Who are you talking about specifically?
Yeah, think about
who specifically?
A comedian, any of the comedian guys or guys that got
like Louis C.K.
It's Louis C.K. It's Louis C.K.
So who would have profited from him?
Netflix. Like all the subscriptions, or when he was doing shows at venues or any kind of movie.
You're tying all the secondary and third things, right?
Yeah,
so Netflix made money. Such and such did this. Yes. Should I not do anything down that line?
So because they're quick to cut ties, but they're not like, we'll give back the yachts and the houses that we got.
I mean, I don't think Netflix got its yachts from Louis C.K., but
say what?
I don't think Netflix got its yachts from Louis C.K., but I see.
No, it doesn't matter. What that was just an example. It's just that what I don't like about all this is once someone who really contributed to the culture, whether it's musically or it's in terms of movies or shows, whatever art, and all of a sudden there's allegations about them. And then they go through this whole thing, and maybe they're convicted, maybe they're not, maybe they're charged, maybe they're not. But just because of that, all right, we're gonna everything he did or she did, all his contribution gone. You're gonna take everything away. Like you don't see the Cosby Show anymore on TV.
If they're convicted, they're the ones who did it. So obviously they're the ones who have to take
louder.
The brunt.
I can't hear you.
Well, if they're the ones who did it, if they get charged guilty and like you think it's a true charge.
But why erase everything? Why erase their contribution?
They should. Well, yeah, but they should be the one to pay the penalty for it. It's not like the network needs to give it back. The network didn't necessarily do it. Mm-hmm. Now they might have contributed to the culture in which this was a thing that was fine to do, which I think they're culpable for. But like, you also have to represent. Like, you have to make a difference between the individual who fucking does this shit and the one who That's
what we're talking about. Separate the art from the man.
Yeah. The man does it.
Well,
but he does the art too.
I want to add a piece in here. So, in the case of Cosby as an example, I think a better appropriate route rather than just not canceling the show and all its syndications is to say, hey Cosby, we're gonna buy you out of your rights for the show, so that you never make any money off of it, and then we'll show it from there. Like we've cleaned the show.
Show it.
We've cleaned the show.
Okay.
You're not getting anything else from it. You're not profiting it, so we're not enabling you buying Quaaludes and raping women. Right, it's the rest of the cast and everyone else who didn't do all that still gets to make their money in their contribution, right? Because they're suffering right now, too, because of it. But I think that's what should happen. Like, whatever you're doing to appreciate what that person did should not enable their vice or whatever it is that they're detrimenting to society. Like, you've got to burn that off if you're going to enjoy their art of whatever.
So how do you start over with a musician?
Again, either they pay their debt to society or
they do community service
or go to jail or whatever it is, or just some big fine. It depends on whatever it is, right? Society and judges, we have a whole court system to decide that. And then I think on the other side, if they're not making money off what it is, that doesn't enable what they do. So if the record company buys their songs and their album, therefore, any re-syndication of that music being played on commercials or whatever is not making the artist money, then it's like, it's clean, it's safe. You're separating the art from the person. That being done is not going to help that person make money directly. And it would
probably be a financial burden on the company itself, which is kind of good.
Well, it goes back to marketing.
Well, the company didn't know that the person was probably all that.
It's nice that they actually spend the money.
Alex.
Well, yes, I'd agree.
I think that's good. Yeah, I think it's ethical.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's an ethical position.
That's my thought. If I ruled the world, I think.
If what?
If I ruled the world, I think.
Boy, who wants to live in that bullshit?
I think that. Again, conversation for a whole other day, and I'll write an article about this soon. Our path to redemption in America, maybe in the world, but particularly America, is very poor. Like, we don't allow people
to redemption.
We don't allow people to redeem themselves.
I think it's the opposite. What's it? The Marion Barry, the mayor from DC who got caught with coke.
No, there's a difference there. What did he do to redeem?
Yeah. He went to jail.
people in politics.
He went to jail, came back, ran again, and won.
Okay, he paid his debt to society though. Why can't you? Why is that a problem?
No. I'm saying
I pay my debt to society.
No. You said that people don't like your redemption story. I said no. Here's the case.
I'm saying we typically don't allow people to be redeemed.
Everybody likes to come back. I think in this country, when you're like at the bottom and then you work your way up, and there's like an 80s montage of you training or whatever the fuck you're doing, and then you get back on your feet. People love that shit. It's inspiring.
It depends on how you fall.
It's impossible for most people to do that too.
So,
okay,
let's look at all the Me Too movement falls.
Uh-huh.
I don't think people are gonna be cheering them to come back.
Like, what if they paid that to society, whatever that means?
Well, right now they're paying this like social court justice.
they're quarantined somewhere.
I mean, but people are losing careers. I think there's a better way to go about it. Like we take everything away from people rather than trying to, like in a court case, if you find someone is guilty of something, but they can help you in some other way to get bigger fish to fry, you flip them and say, all right, why don't you work for us as part of your punishment? Maybe we'll give you a slap on the wrist on something, but then you work for us to better the cause. And I think we don't do enough of that when it comes to punishing people in society in general.
But do you punish once they're actually charged and convicted?
You should, yes.
Because the court of public opinion doesn't give a shit about any of that.
No, it doesn't.
So if you're
it's part
guilty,
of changing culture.
If you touch kids, if everybody says you touch kids, you probably touch kids. If you rape those women, the 37 or however many, then chances are you probably did. We don't care what the courts are going to say because he's been guilty since.
That's not really a problem of democracy, though. That's really a problem of capitalism. That's like that's money because I mean you're saying the court of public opinion. The court of public opinion actually, in the end, like I think the justice system, in the end, does work if it's done the way it was intended to be done, which is a jury by your peers. Which unfortunately we've given up a lot of that power. We don't care anymore. But it's the money. The money is what's getting these people off. Like money is king. Money is good in America. So if you're rich and you're making money, that's when you get off with things. Like that's what our problem is. It's the apparatus of money that surrounds all of this, right? That's how politicians get off of things.
I'm all about it. What I'm saying is, again, I'm just looking for consistency, because when it's Michael, it's okay, and you'd go to a Michael Jackson show if he was still alive and kicking, even with the allegations and everything. But would take someone like Bill Cosby and basically destroy him.
I think you're making a very complex issue too simple in your reaction.
So what?
I think you're asking for a simple reaction to a very, very complex situation. That's really, really you get to your own like.
If you believe in justice, you got to go across the board.
Ethics is an individual choice. Like I'm a philosophy person. Like I believe we all have our own ethics, and you have to negotiate that within yourself. And so, like the idea of appropriation, even the idea of like the justice system in America, the problem of jail in America, all of these things are like, there's not a simple reaction to them. You can't be consistent. Except for the jail problem, and that's like 100% consistent reaction.
Except for what?
It's our biggest problem in America.
What is?
Jail.
Oh yeah.
Prison. Well, so like besides that, but everything, like even the art, and like it just depends on who you are and your own ethical choices. Micco has basically said this the whole time. This is what I do.
This is what you would do in that situation.
Yeah, but I leaning back a little bit here. That I'd still be consistent in how I resolve it, regardless of who it is.
It's called personal ethics.
But it needs to be consistent. It needs to be consistent. It may be different for different people.
Yeah.
But it needs to be consistent within that person.
Correct.
And treat different people. And
I want to hear from Byron, because
Byron.
I agree.
Mic drop.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just not giving him a mic. You're right. I agree.
Do you think Kanye's been consistent in his position?
No.
I don't even know what his position is.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're talking too much. Here's the thing. If you keep talking, at some point you're going to say some bullshit. It happens to all of us. He happens to be talking longer.
Just some more than others. And well, first of all, he's been off of social media for a very long time.
Yeah.
And he just came back weeks before announcing an album. Right.
So do you think, and we're going to talk about that and move on, because Kanye has been dissected left, right, and in diagonal. If his album comes out and it's dope, and he goes back to being quote unquote whatever normal Kanye is, and people forgive him, would you be okay with it?
Forgive is divine. If you forgive him,
but would you feel cheated because he just did all this basically for the sake of marketing?
Well, he's got to. I mean, I'm not just going to forgive him just because he has a dope album.
A lot of people are.
Well, that's
I'm
true.
sure a lot of people
that's
will.
True.
A lot of people will. They're like, fuck Kanye, but man, his album is dope.
What are you forgiving him for?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't think about the dude.
I'm just curious.
Well, the comments he makes,
like,
and
he knows different from wearing a magma hat, right?
Yeah, but he knows he has a platform.
Saying slavery was a choice.
When
things
people
like
say
that, for comments,
but here's the thing: when people say, "Look, you have a responsibility because you're an influential person in today's world," you have to be careful about what you say. But when you basically what Kanye is doing is say, "Look, I'm speaking my mind. I'm getting punished for it," right? Just to look on from his perspective. So if you have a platform, you're somebody that people listen to, somebody that inspires people, and somebody that people look up to, then should your message always be positive and always be, hey, let's get together and stop racism and let's organize protests. So look, I'm at this protest.
Absolutely not.
I'm trying to get away from Kanye, trying to get more into, if you're an influential figure in today's culture and you have a platform, you have to be responsible for your words.
Depends on how you use it. If you've used it in the past as a platform to some cause or direction or action, whether it be nonprofit or beneficial or just to help buy album sales, if you've used that platform before, then at that point you've kind of signed an understood agreement that you're
an activist and you know what you're talking about.
Well, it's just that you understand the gravitas of what you're doing. You've used your platform for it before, so you know what it's capable of. So there's some accountability that comes across at that point. So if Kanye goes on television and says George Bush doesn't care about black people, right, to make a statement, well, he made that knowing that he's on a platform that a lot of people are going to hear. He knew what was going to happen.
But the
content, so he knows his platform.
Yeah, but the content of the actual remark, should that always be in a way that kind of move the needle forward versus being being divisive and being negative and being sometimes offensive?
You just have to accept the responsibility for what you say. I mean, you can't say, just because I said that, why is everybody hating? Well, you said that. Like, you're going to get that blowback because you've developed this platform. You don't have 5 followers.
So somewhat, but on the other side of the coin, there's hey, look, man, I don't care about what you're talking about. I don't care about your cause or whatever message you're trying to get across. I just listen to the music, or I just watch the game, or I just go see the movie. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Well, then don't follow him on Twitter or talk about that at all.
Say what?
Then they shouldn't talk about him on Twitter or social media, right? So if I just watch LeBron,
nice, LeBron Jones,
on during the playoffs and for basketball, that's cool. I only know him as a sports figure, and I don't care about anything else he says on the side.
Yeah, but from I think from that to saying, hey, LeBron, shut the fuck up, just fucking score. I don't.
You would never say that because you don't even know the side of. You don't know what he says outside of his platforms outside of that.
Right. So I think that, again, if the market decides that and Kanye's album sucks because there were no sales, then you can attribute that to his comments. But if it's fire, now if it's whack, you'll know that is you can assume that it's because of what he said. If it's not consistent with his past sales, it will be presumed. Yeah, but if it's actually dope, which side are you?
Well, the problem is that if it's dope, whack, whatever it is people's own personal taste and choice. Right. It's all about the numbers game. So if it sells very well, that enables what he said. It says that we don't care. I think me personally,
you can't tell the difference between people.
I think that if it sells very well, I think to a degree, people are enabling what he says, enabling him to give him that platform. They're okay with it.
But people will be offended because you're just reducing this artist to his art, to his art. Like there's no, you can't do anything separate. So when people, there was a story recently about some basketball player, maybe it was LeBron, and the guy and somebody tweeted or somebody said, shut up and dribble.
That was towards LeBron.
That was who?
That was towards LeBron.
Oh, it was towards LeBron. Yeah. And everybody knows LeBron as causes that he fights for and all of that. But just by saying that, you're reducing the guy to just his quote unquote art or what he does. I don't see how it would offend people. I can see both sides of it.
I mean, it's okay for the artist to have a voice, but if you staunchly don't agree with it, you should enable it. That's the only thing. I mean, if that person says, LeBron, shut up and dribble, and if you really don't agree with what their statement is, well, by watching them play basketball, you're increasing the ratings of the show, which that's the ratings of the Cavaliers, which means the ratings of LeBron James, which is the check for the Cavaliers, which pays him money, right? It all ties into it. You should stop your line of thread to helping them make money, which enables them to
people
have that
just
platform.
like to be upset, I think.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
Also capitalism.
We can take it anywhere, folks. This is the FeedBak podcast. We can do whatever we want. So, go to a live show. If you go to a live show, and I'm sure...
Never been.
Shut up. You go to a live show, and all of a sudden, the artist goes, hey, we're going to stop the show. This one goes out to the refugees in Darfur, whatever. Or this one, or, fuck Trump and fuck this politician and don't support that cause, support this one, and this is what I'm about. But you're there like, dude, I paid $300 for tickets to this festival. I want to hear you talk about politics. Just play the guitar, and I'm here for the song. Would you? For someone who goes to live music a lot, to live music events a lot, like, does that piss you off?
So 2 things. One, fortunately, most musicians align with my politics. So
well, that's easy.
Just in general, most of them do. But that being said, I do wonder when they go up there and say, like, fuck Trump, I look in the crowd, I'm like, I know there's Trump supporters in this motherfucker. I saw them. I know them. I wonder what they think. Like, I'm actually honestly curious. What do they think when an artist goes up there and says that? I remember Jay-Z had a part during one of his shows when Obama was running for president. Jay-Z was on tour, and he had a whole part where he dedicated to Obama.
Well, it's one thing if this goes out to whatever, but when you make a whole tirade out of it, then you start putting out a PowerPoint presentation or like a whole movie. I mean, I'm like, come on, man.
Sure, but legitimate musical voice though, resistance, like punk, like politics has always been a part of music.
That may be so, but what do you think of it if you love their music but you don't like their message? You don't like that aspect of it. That's just the question.
Usually they're on our side because they're starving,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. Case in point. If the actual group, like the whole message of that band's music is militant and it's activist, think Rage Against the Machine.
Right. That's a good example.
Right. And that's your cause. That's what you do. And, in the middle of your show, you're going to stop it and talk about some injustices around the world. I get that. And I know what I was getting into when I go see a Rage Against the Machine show. But if you're just MC such and such from New Orleans and your show's about hoes,
I got to be from New Orleans.
I don't care.
Free speech.
No,
man.
it's
MC a free country. He can say what he wants to on stage.
All your songs are about bitches and hoes and money this, money that. And all of a sudden you go, oh, this goes out to the troops. You'd be like, I can't really you're not
like,
doing
where's
it.
This coming from?
Yeah, like what the hell? I'm sorry. Or this goes out to the Me Too movement. I'm like, really? The last song you did was fuck bitches and stuff. Like, come on. Yeah. But that's what happens. I'm sure that happens a lot.
Wait, can you name an example of that?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure it happens.
I can't either, actually. I don't know. Like, I would be curious to see an example of that.
Well, that specific example.
Yeah, bitches and hoes, and shout out to the Me Too movement.
Rappers don't say fuck bitches and stuff in their lyrics.
Again, it was just a general idea of it, right? It was just to get a point. So,
that
being said, I think a good example of this happened, and Boris helped me out here too, being a music fiend, maybe 12, 13 years ago, the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, that's right.
Right? Speaking out against Bush and the war. Yeah.
And then people were burning their CDs and all that.
So, right, their crowd was a conservative crowd, primarily. And they spoke out against a lot of Bush Bush Phones.
Thank goodness.
Well, later on, I
thank
think they suffered for it in the beginning, though.
Yeah. I mean,
they did suffer for it. They got canceled on some shows.
Yeah.
That culture needs to be dismantled, though.
Well, again, that's whatever your politics may be. Yeah. That's an example of some backlash for your views. The Dixie Chicks didn't sing anything about politics up to that point that was known. They do now a lot more. Mm-hmm. But then it came out of left field.
Dude, Pussy Riot
and that's
for years. Like,
but again,
it's a major
they're known.
Again, they're known. That was the point. They're known. You know what you're getting into.
Is huge in music. You have to do it, and you have to be prepared for the backlash if you decide to do that with your music.
So that's with your music.
Yeah.
So again, the point is it comes out of nowhere, and that definitely happens.
I haven't really seen that happen.
I think that there's a limit to it. Like, you can't, if you don't do that on a regular, like, that's what your music is not about. That
you're kind of posing, I think.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt. Like, this goes out to whatever, and then you start a song. Let's say you had a song that's kind of about it. That makes sense. But you do it in the middle of your show and the whole thing, and you start going on a tirade for 15 minutes. I can't have that. Now you're just wasting my money, and you're wasting my time. Because I didn't come here to see you, to hear you talk about the refugees in Rwanda. I don't care. So,
you just use such a sad example, though.
What? Okay, this goes out to okay. Here, to bring it back to close the loop. If a band who plays heavy metal goes on stage on Cinco de Mayo, wears sombreros and all that, and start talking about the Battle of Pueblo and why Cinco de Mayo is important, and
that's dope.
Why we sell it. That's dope.
Yeah.
But you go to a show and then that takes up 15 minutes of the show. They don't even have a song about it. They don't have.
If it is Cinco de Mayo, I'm about it.
You're about it?
If
it lasts too long, I'm done about it.
If it's Julio de Mayo, that's weird. If it's July 5th.
Yeah, they totally fuck up.
But if it's Cinco de Mayo, that's relevant.
Show the Cinco, everybody. And they start rocking out.
That's relevant. I mean, I'm okay with that to a degree. I mean, I don't want you to spend too much of the time. I pay ticket money, but if you're going to give a shout out to a cultural relevance on that particular date of something that happened, yes, please do.
Just don't do it for too long.
Yeah,
because then now you're wasting.
You're wasting my time.
My time.
Hey,
and you're wasting yours too, because you could have done a whole song that everybody loves, but instead you wanted
they're getting paid either way.
You want to rant about Trump. What?
They're getting paid either way.
Yeah, but you're on stage and you're here to make people have a good time.
You want them to come back and see you. That's how you
exactly. I'm not going to come back again. Seriously, that would be. I would leave.
I just again to sum it up. It's just interesting that artists do have an opinion on stage. I think you made an excellent point. I just want to reiterate that if you're an artist,
I made an excellent point.
Yeah, you rarely get that from me, Twins Back.
Cut his mic off, man.
It honestly was an excellent point. If as an artist, if you're not already talking about it in your music to some extent, and then you try to push a cause in between, like take an extended period of time. I understand even though you don't talk about it, it may not be the area of your music, but you have a cause. It's okay to mention it, but it shouldn't come out of left field. Like I shouldn't go to your show.
One song.
If you have one song, then you have a song about it. Like you should probably do a preface about why you have a song about that.
So you can be a rapper and have your 12 tracks on your album, and out of 12, there's one of them about the ladies. So when you perform that one live, you go, yeah, this goes out to the Me Too movement, and all the other tracks are about fuck bitches and all that. That's acceptable?
I mean, you're using the straw man argument and being an extreme example. That probably would not be okay, but there's a lot of things short of that would.
I think there's balance. If it fits in the narrative of the art that the artist produces, yes.
You try to find the most extreme example and say since that extreme example doesn't work, then none of it works. Is that not what you just did?
Yes. Yes.
I think there's gray, but
see that. So far, every topic we've touched, we're like, yeah, it depends.
I live in a gray world. I'm mixed, so that's. I'm sorry.
I live in a black or white world.
I'm forgetting.
It's black or white. Rest in peace, Michael.
Yeah.
We'll edit that
out. Singing the song.
I see Micco in the scene of at the end when it starts changing faces and shit.
Yeah.
And Micco just turns around.
It's
I
black.
don't know if y'all knew that.
They need a Mexican in there to go. It's Micco in the middle.
I'm North African. I'm Moroccan. Just so you know,
What?
I'm Moroccan.
He's
Is that a pun? Is that a bad pun on rockin'?
Do I not look Moroccan?
Oh, putain. All right, what are we talking for? An hour 20.
Time to wrap it up.
No, you have anything else you want to bring up?
Not really. I think we covered pretty much everything. I mean, the only thing I had to throw out there was, there was how do you feel about venues and stances and boycotting venues? We've done that. We covered it, the feedback.
Right.
I forget the name of the venue.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Is that still open?
I want to say maybe they
have no
changed the
idea.
name. Maybe it's still there.
They changed the name? What is it now?
It's something else. I was over there not too long
That
ago.
was a horrible name to begin with. It's what? No,
no. It's still that bar is still there, but maybe they changed the name. I don't know.
That meeting, whoever came up with that name at that meeting needs to go away. I hope he got fired first.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a horrible name for a bar. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You also are a hater on puns. I know this firsthand.
Yes, you got firsthand. I'm a rockin'. Fuck out of here with your puns. No, exactly. If your name is a pun, your bar is a joke. That's it. I've never been there. My thing is when it comes to boycotting, you have to look into if it's the action of one person at that particular spot that did something. So now you're looking at the whole and like, well, fuck the whole.
Right.
Well, sorry, no pun there. I have to fuck the whole.
I didn't get it, but now that you mention it, and let me think about it.
Man, motherfucker's slow.
Well, my mind is not going in the gutter when we're on the live on TV. Continue, sir.
All right. So fuck the whole. WHOLE.
keep digging a hole.
It's always about what are the actions of one. How does it impact?
Right, the many.
Whole?
Right.
Sorry.
So if one bartender makes a mistake and says something racist,
yeah,
are you gonna punch the entire bar
that one
staff?
Starbucks manager that kicked out the two black
people
people?
want to hate all
so
of
now
Starbucks
fuck
across the
Starbucks.
nation. Right. Yeah, I think that tends to be ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Well, what you just said.
But how do you?
Like, I don't. One bad apple doesn't rot the whole group.
So when it comes to cops, when it comes to black people, when it comes to white people, when it comes to
story checks out so far.
Conservatives,
Story still checks
talk
out.
to liberals,
Okay.
Mexicans.
No.
It's too far.
No, man, no, you can't.
If you just said something like rapist, I'm like, no, okay, yeah, them, all of them, they're bad. But all the groups earlier, yeah, I mean, for the most part.
You're a representative, though. I'm just playing the other side. Like, if you're a cop and you do something bad, then people are going to be pissed at all the cops. Fuck cops, fuck the police, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Even though Jake is the asshole in this situation. Right? Or if it takes six white cops to take on one guy, all six of them, that's who we look to, and that's who we punish. That's who we should condemn, and not all cops. But again, people have the hard time.
That's human nature, man. Yeah, it's hard to distinguish it. People see the one and blame the many for that. I mean, that's part of just growing. I think it's all self-help. It's part about growing yourself and separate that.
What?
So once you get to grow yourself a little bit and can separate that, the artist from the man, kind of our theme going. I think it's separating the greater people, right? A culture of whatever it is, or a subculture, from what the individual action is. If it's not something that consistently happens, I would, and I don't want to go on this path too far, but when it comes to police, that's a trend of things that are happening. So I'd almost say that there is a culture of it within.
What about like
within
Chick-fil-A?
police. What about it? Be specific.
They were anti-gay or Hobby Lobby.
Like
so the CEOs are anti-gay, whatever.
Hobby Lobby, the one that steals artifacts from Iraq.
What?
You didn't hear about that? They stole like 2,300 artifacts from Iraq.
Who did?
Hobby Lobby.
But if you need your knitting equipment, and your crafts and shit,
the value store.
That's where you go. That's where you go. So are you enabling? Are you enabling Hobby Lobby?
Yeah, I think I try not to go to Hobby Lobby. I try not to enable what they do. I try not to give them money. Yeah.
You try not to.
Yeah.
Who else?
I go to Micco's if I can help it. Or
there you go.
Somewhere
about
else.
Micco's?
Yeah.
Well, what if that actually like the whole industry is just fucked, and you're like, now if you actually go to any of these stores, you're enabling that kind of behavior and that kind of practice.
If you buy a SUV, you're enabling terrorism.
There you go. If you buy a Jeep, 'cause that's what they drive over there.
But if I buy a hybrid SUV,
now you're just a douche. I'm sorry.
You're a green energy advocate.
Just a douche. No, I mean, I think until America comes to grips with that idea that you cannot blame actions of one on the many, we're still going to have issues and debates about and the inconsistency between how we deal with Muslims, for example, and how we deal with cops. Talking about it as two groups where there's a few that fuck it up for everybody in both groups, and now you're like, fuck everybody, fuck that entire group. And I'm just looking for consistency on how we approach issues like that, and for the most part there is none. And yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest problems that this country has.
Lack of consistency in how you deal with cultures
and not being able to talk it out and be like, hey, this is not about an entire company or an entire, regardless of what the company does or what the company has done to help a cause or whatever. It's about that one time and that one place and that one individual.
And you burn it all down as a result of it.
Yeah, and then the guy gets punished or girl gets punished or whatever and goes through whatever redemption path.
I think there is no redemption path. It's rare. That's my argument.
There is or there isn't? You said
there isn't. Either it's rare, there is. It's hard to recover.
It's hard, but, it can still happen.
I mean, you go to prison, it's hard to recover from that.
Softball.
All right. One example, thanks.
There you go. That's all I need.
We've had one black president. I guess it's all cured.
Huh?
We've had one black president, half black president. I guess we're all cured.
Yeah, we'll take credit for the whole thing. And African, please. Well, yeah. His dad was African, so that counts.
Gonna claim it on the side there, huh? Just gonna take that from us, huh?
Yeah. There's only a few things we can keep.
Killmonger had a point.
All right. What else?
Take us home, sir.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
You tired of talking?
Well,
You're not high anymore.
I feel bad for whoever's got to edit the audio of this video, so I'm looking out for
Yeah,
them.
no shit. Well, he doesn't talk much, so I hope he already has everything planned out in his head.
Oh yeah.
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 You know where to cut. You know where to censor. You know where to
all your parts
bleeps.
back.
At the 35-minute,
35-minute mark.
12-second mark.
It's gonna go.
I'll be
Hey, everybody!
some
Welcome
edits.
to the FeedBak podcast. My name is Micco, and
We had Boris here laughing on the side. I do before we close. Boris, did you have any comments about anything we said today? Okay.
Okay, he says it's all good point. He doesn't have a mic in front of his face because he's slouched on a couch over there.
He's chilling.
Oh, it's chilling. Anyway, one last thing I want to talk about. I want to give a shout out. There is the Just Blaze event down at Empire every last Thursday of the month. I think it's dope. I support it. I really liked it. So it's here for 4 more times. So May, June, July, August. So
throughout the summer.
If you know who Just Blaze is, he's produced your favorite hip hop songs. A lot of Jay-Z, DMX. I mean, he's done so much. There's actually a documentary called Rapture on Netflix, and there's a whole episode about him.
East Coast.
And how he what?
Huh?
Oh, putain. There's a way to just like cut me off and shit.
God, sorry.
No,
East
but
Coast.
yeah, shout out to Just Blaze. Go check him out. Last Thursday of the month at Empire Control Room. And yeah, I mean, it's a blessing to have somebody like that who's willing to, be part of Austin culture. And that's all he wants to do is really learn about, okay, who's doing what, who can we work with. I think this is dope. So shout out to Empire for putting that together. Shout out to Just Blaze. Go watch Rapture. No, we're not sponsored by Netflix. I know we brought it up a few times, but it's hard to not talk about things like that without dropping big company names. Anyway, gonna wrap things up. Shout out to Native. Thank you so much for letting us host this show here upstairs at the Romper Room. Micco, thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's good.
Byron. Really? This motherfucker
Down
here.
to the end.
This motherfucker.
Down to the
I
end.
swear to God, I'm not giving you a mic next time. I'll just point my mic towards your head, and if you can't catch it right then and there, that's it.
Give me an etch a sketch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good thing we got video because you'll see Byron just like the whole time, just arms crossed, laid back. And this couch really sucks you in too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, shout out to Austinites. Make sure you go to austinite.com. Use code FDBK for 20% off any packages. There's a bunch of shit coming up at Antone's, at Empire, like Genuine, Blue Oyster, what's it, Cult. It's coming to Empire in July. Antone's got a bunch of shows. They always got stuff going on. Cedar Street, same thing. So, austinite.com. Use code FDBK for 20% off. And make sure you follow the FeedBak on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, FeedBak BAK. And make sure you stay tuned for June 3rd, our episode about the psychology of nightlife with Art Markman and Bob Duke from Two Guys on Your Head. If you haven't checked out their podcast, just go to KUT or just Google Two Guys on Your Head.
Or go to NPR. It's nationally syndicated.
Exactly. And their shows are like 7 minutes long. Yep. Except the ones they do live, they're like an hour or so.
Been to those.
You can just like learn about all kinds of stuff, how the brain is impacted by all kinds of different things. Very interesting stuff, guys. So make sure you stay tuned. June 3rd. Don't miss that episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on Facebook who tuned in live. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace. Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye, world.